sitrep. Circle collapse imminent. Get to safety.
Welcome everyone to a new game for this channel. It's the hip new addition to the gaming scene, and it goes by the name, let me just make sure I get this correctly here, Call of Duty. You may have heard about it somewhere, I don't know. Yes, okay, fair enough. I played a lot of COD over the years. I played the original Call of Duty, COD 2, United Offensive, which was way ahead of its time with including vehicles and larger maps, and up to COD 4 where I sort of stopped buying the latest. If I remember correctly, Modern Warfare 2 didn't use dedicated servers, so I just sort of decided to skip it, and then I never really fell back into the habit of playing Call of Duty games. Well, that is until now. It's somewhat telling that when you're installing Black Ops 4, that once it's roughly a third installed, it'll let you play Blackout, the new Battle Royale mode. I'm sure there are technical reasons as to why that's the case, but nothing sets out the idea of the new BR mode being a game changer quite as succinctly as that. And if I'm honest, I wasn't really planning on playing Black Ops 4 until they ran their Blackout open beta a few weeks back. That's when I was surprised to find quite how far things had progressed. I must also say at this point, thank you to Activision Blizzard for supplying me with a review code for this game through their PR company. Yes, the Battle Royale train doesn't seem to be stopping anytime soon. Those who thought it would reach saturation point for users with Fortnite would have guessed wrong. Blackout is a genuinely new and refreshing angle on the established BR experience. The key for me is the judgment of including just enough Call of Duty in the game without going too far. So things like the time to kill have been extended in comparison to the normal COD Multiplayer, and that's a really good thing. The pacing of the game is perhaps its crowning achievement though. There's a superb blend of the open world and engagements with the enemy. It doesn't take a huge amount of time to run around the map. The actual movement speed seems really high in comparison to more sim-orientated BRs. But the actual fights are still frenetic and arcadey in their style. This comes from a lack of camping tools like being able to hide in bushes or lean around trees. People can flashbang opponents, close that gap quickly, to have up-close confrontations, all in a fluid way. That COD movement isn't just about running speed though. The vaulting works an incredibly slick way to move you around the very terrain. There's a joy to be had in the efficiency and rapidity that you can tear through buildings in a way that I don't think I've experienced in another BR game. It isn't just pure gunplay though. There is a perk system with some interesting ideas to augment players' abilities. These tend to tweak the edges rather than become a sort of ultimate ability though. Things like taking less fall damage, being able to use consumables faster, and the ever useful getting a subtle audio cue when someone ADSs at you. The weapons from the multiplayer are here too, but it's not the hit scan like you might have expected from a Call of Duty game. No, we have proper projectile ballistics. You need to lead and elevate at longer distances. Plus, that trademark bullet penetration is in the BR as well, so if people are camping in rooms, you can wallbang them. Pixel peeking window frames doesn't give you the protection you might come to expect from other BRs. I played a lot of Battle Royale games now, PUBG, Fortnite, Realm Royale, and so on, and honestly I think Treyarch has delivered the best BR experience we've had so far. So if you're all about running circles and calling out enemy headings with your friends, that's probably all you really need to know about this game. I'm not saying it's 100% perfect. There are some notable design choices that I would change, so if I was going to name a few, the headliner for me is the experience of looting in the game. It can be very fluid, but it's also incredibly easy to swap your fully kitted out weapon for the bare bones weapon on the floor purely by mistake. You're aiming at the ammo next to it, but the game instead loots the item that's closer to you. It badly needs a setting to auto pick up ammo when you run over it, or some other solution. The UI for the inventory seems overly convoluted as well. Small icons to represent all manner of items mean that you end up having to learn each icon, and then be presented with a whole bunch of them when you're in someone's backpack and have to evaluate them quickly. Also, your two weapons aren't shown at once in the UI, you need to swap back and forth to see what mods you have on each. It's not a great system. It's one of the few parts of the game that feels like the design has been influenced by console requirements. I'd very much like the option to scale down the view bob as well. I know this is almost a cornerstone of COD, but for someone who's not played in a while, it was way too strong initially. I found that increasing the field of view helped a bunch, but I'd still like to turn it down further. Progression in Blackout feels slightly the correlation of the normal multiplayer. The weapons don't have the same skins or the same leveling mechanics that you might expect from a Call of Duty game. I'd say that the performance in the beta was patchy, but I'd also say that with the newest Nvidia drivers, it's notably improved. For those with newer hardware, yes, I'm still on 970. If this video could get 1 million views, that'd be great, thank you very much. But I can imagine you guys with top spec kit seeing FPS up into 3 figures. I could go on with things I'd change, but I'd stand by my main point. For Battle Royale in 2018, Blackout is my favourite experience. To be honest, I was all about Black Ops 4 for the Battle Royale, so I'm surprised how much of the normal multiplayer has been taking up my time as well. It still feels like that fast, frenetic COD that we all know. The addition of classes in the form of specialists gives more variation and layers to the gameplay. The time to kill is certainly short for someone coming from the likes of Dirty Bum, but the abilities don't feel like perhaps the huge intrusion that you might expect. The focus is very much still on the gunplay. You might argue that with kill streaks and flying back up, that COD has had ult-like abilities long before the likes of Overwatch made them all front and centre. But the abilities the specialists have seem to fit in with the gaming landscape of 2018, and that's for both better and worse. It all feels very current. There are moments when it feels altogether too powerful to die instantly to something that you could never have reacted to. But then, like I said, there have been bombs raining down from the sky, thanks to killstreaks, in COD for years now. Plus, when you're the one doing the big damage, it feels great as always. The normal multiplayer has a bunch of modes too, from more competitive capture point, limited spawn options, to rolling spawn TDM, kill confirmed and free-for-alls. It's easier and wholly more immediate to play a couple of rounds of multiplayer than it is to try and grab a quick game of Blackout BR. The two offer differing and complementary experiences to that sort of same Call of Duty landscape. I'm going to admit to not having spent much time at all with the Zombies mode. The other two modes have been my go-tos, and that kind of speaks to the breadth of the gameplay that Black Ops actually offers, as much as anything else. But what I have seen, and as someone who's actually new to the Zombies mode, there seems significant depth to the experience through riddles and clues that you need to piece together to unlock Easter eggs. The whole tone of Zombies seems markedly different to the multiplayer and Blackout modes too. There's period settings from ancient coliseums to turn-of-the-century doomed sea voyage maps. And there are defined player characters that are probably voice-acted. It's like a whole other world. I saw a Polygon article saying that Zombies mode is as close as Black Ops 4 gets to raids, and that actually feels like a nice comparison. It needs a specific set of friends to play properly. It's not the live-on-your-reflexes gameplay that the other modes trade on. Launch went pretty well also. I didn't see or hear about any server issues, which seems all the more impressive when it seems to have sold pretty well too. Fortune reports it saw worldwide sales top $500 million in the first 3 days. In comparison, the previous title, Call of Duty World War II, took 47 days to double that number. That's not to say I didn't find issues though. For a AAA title with a AAA price tag, there are a few too many bugs present, and some areas lack the polish that you might expect at this level. Play of the round replays can bug out, parties can seemingly break. There's also a weapon skin editor, which is a nice addition, but it can behave inconsistently, and I've also had my changes not load into real matches and so on. There's nothing game-breaking, but it's more inconvenience than anything else. But it feels like it needs another patch to really solidify itself. And actually, as I'm typing this, I'm seeing Treyarch tweet that they have a patch tomorrow, which they describe as a substantial update. So it's good to see that things are still in a fast phase of development. It's not just about launching a game these days, you need to retain users in the long run by keeping them active. I'm actually very interested to know what you think of Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Leave me a comment below right now if you want to tell me my aim is terrible, or that you could easily 1v1 me at Nuketown, bruh, as I believe it's known. I'll be reading every single one of them. If you enjoyed the video, please tap that thumb up, hit subscribe and ring that bell icon so you know when the next video is sitting, cooling on a windowsill like a freshly baked audio-visual pie. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Take care.
Hostiles have taken out our attack deploy beacon.